Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, sit a while for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 6 as part of the Ottawa Senators, So, yeah, the Sens are going to have a different face this year. I have a lot of players that I decided to not bring back, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at a bunch of things before we get started with the simulation. First, there were a few minor trades prior to July 1st. So on June 23rd, there was a trade between the Maple Leafs and the Avalanche. So Chris Higgins goes to Colorado, and the Leafs get Cody McCormick. And then there's been another trade between Calgary and San Jose. Calgary sent Eric Nystrom to San Jose for Brad Stewart. I believe that the Flames probably got the better end of the deal here. And then a bunch of retirements on July 1st, as usual. So Mark Streit, who played for Ottawa for a little bit, decided to retire. He was in New Jersey. 35 years old, Mark Streit, two-star player, decided to retire. John Madden also decided to retire. He was 40 years old and still a 2.5-star player. Vili Peltonen, who also played for Ottawa for a little bit, decided to retire with the Islanders. He was 40 years old, 2-star player still. Jose Theodore decided to retire from the Minnesota Wild. He was 36 years old and he was only an alpha star player anymore. Martin St. Louis decided to retire. He was playing for the Flyers, 38 years old and 2.5-star player. Martin St. Louis I don't think he became quite the player that he became in real life. I don't see it. He had a couple good seasons. So he had a 94-point season in 2004 and 2005, and then a 79 and an 80-point season. Yeah, he had some few good seasons, but the last few seasons he really didn't do much of anything. So, yeah, Martin St. Louis retires. Then there's been a trade between the Rangers and the Jets. So Curtis Foster and Marek Baby Bull are going to the Jets, and the Rangers get Trevor Daley and Brett Sterling. And there's been a trade between the Kings and the Sabres. Brian Wilsey and Curtis McDermott are going to Buffalo for Daniel Paillet and Branko Radivojevic. Whoa. That doesn't roll all that good on my French tongue. And Paul Carrier retired from Anaheim as well, so not in the game anymore. And then we got Andrew Hammond for free. So that happened. So that was everything that had to do with the news that I received. And then, of course, I offered contracts, I should say, to my young players that are 20 years old. So Shane Prince, Jean-Gabriel Pajot, Matt Pumple, and Stefan Nosen all got a contract offer. And then, for the first time in a very, 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 very long time, I had money and contract slots to go after free agents. And I have kind of a need at center right now, especially since I let Joe Thornton go. And for whatever reason, probably a bug in the game at this point, because that shouldn't be the case. Mark Scheifele was a UFA at 20 years old. Like I said, that there must be some sort of bug, because Scheifele shouldn't be a non-restricted free agent at age 20, but he was. So I offered him a contract. We'll see if he accepts or not. I have no problem going higher than that. I have plenty of cap space right now, so yeah. So that's pretty much what's going on. Braden Shen, ready for more drills. Well, good. Oh, Mark Scheifele decided to sign with us. So, yeah. Alright, and then those guys are going to sign eventually. Oh. Okay, I do have a few D-man, but again, I'm kind of thin on D-man. Maybe I could have gone for a defenseman. I kind of like the defenseman that I have until I have injuries. Then I don't like them so much. And we all know Alex Pietrangelo is pretty much made of crystal in my save, so yeah. We'll live dangerously. Maybe that'll force me to make a trade or something. Alright, Shane Prince signed this contract. And Jean-Gabriel Pajot signed this contract as well. And Jean-Gabriel Pajot wants number 44, and he is going to get number 44. That's the number he wore his entire career. Alright, Braden Shen almost ready. Stefan Nosen signs. Matt Pumple signs. There you go. Alright, we're going to go slowly but surely. Wow, Zdeno Chara might not even be ready for the preseason at this rate. Semi Lepisto and Calvin Dehaan pitch in at a local homeless shelter. We haven't seen that news in a while. So Lepisto and Dehaan now are better persons for donating their time. There's so few news during the off-season. Again, I really wish they would tell me who signs where. Like Joe Thornton probably signed now. I wish there was a news story for it so that I can see where. Probably signed in Montreal. They always seem to like to get the good players just to be a pain in my you-know-where. Wow, very quiet month of July. Alright, Brian Leach, Hall of Fame. Mike Modano, Hall of Fame. Ray Ferraro, Hall of Fame. And Mark Recchi, Hall of Fame. Alright, new month, let's go. Ooh, Tampa Bay is offering me, is making me a trade offer. Vladimir Mahalik for Mike Hoffman? Yeah, I don't think so. That's going to be a very quick video at this rate. Even the news, like, it feels like I didn't get as many as usual. Like for July 1st and everything. There's something new that did happen. I deleted the email. The NHL is now moving to the new playoff format that we know now, and there's been a reorganization of the divisions. So as you can see, Detroit and Columbus are now in the East. So we have the current divisions that as we know them today, well, minus Vegas, of course. So the East has 2 more teams than the West, and it's going to be like that for a few years. So yeah, that was not announced in the email that I got, and Winnipeg finally moved to the West as they should. That was not announced. It was only announced the new playoff format, but we have the new divisions there as we know them today. So maybe it's gonna add a different layer of challenge. Detroit is still a good team, so they might be coming in and ruining my plans that I have to get back to the Stanley Cup with the signing of Mark Scheifele. Oh, Zdeno Chara is ready to return to practice. Well, he will be ready for the preseason. All right. So we are 22 days away from the first preseason game. Oh, soon I'm gonna need to recall everybody. My favorite part. Alright, Zdeno Chara is about to be ready to come back. And he is now gonna be back sooner rather than later. Okay, I am ready to play, is what he says. So I should go here. There you go. Alright, in 7 days. Oh, Keith Yandel burned himself on the barbecue. So Keith Yandel playing in Minnesota, so he's going to be a little hurt for not too long, usually a couple weeks. Making hot dogs sure is an adventure for some people, apparently. Alright, so I'm going to sim one more. Now I'm going to recall everybody that hasn't been recalled. Thankfully, I have a bunch of people already on the roster. So Robin Leonard, you can come and play some games. Yeah, that's the part where I'm always super silent. Never found anything very interesting to say about calling up players in succession like that. Alright, Braden Shen, Matt Bumple. Dre Peterson. Shifley, Zibanejad, Leguan, Catenacci, Zach Smith, Shane Prince. Man, I have a lot of depth at forward. That is not a weakness of mine. And I have spots this year. I've let a lot of players go, like Chris Kelly, Patrick Eves, Eric Condra, they're all gone. So there is room for a few surprises. There we go. Now a bunch of them are gonna need numbers. Alright, Jared Cowan would like number 22. He's gonna get number 2. That's what he wore with the Suns. Filatov would like 28. That's not gonna happen. I'm giving you number... oh man, I don't know. 38. Adam Pellick would like 27. He's not gonna get it. How about you get 7 instead? Sounds good to me. Dave Derzinski would like number 22. You're gonna get 54. Patrick Maroon would like number 19. You're getting 14. Derek Grant would like 19 as well. You're getting 64. Gribo would like number 4. You're getting 62. Audrey Pedersen would like number 20. You're getting 12. Ryan Dezingo wants 18. You're getting 47. There you go. And we are all ready for preseason that starts in Vancouver. Alright. Lots of players getting boosts and a few losing a little bit of a step. All looks pretty good. So we are going to be playing Vancouver, first game of the preseason. Oh, they're going with a they're going with the bare minimum as far as their roster goes. 20 players dressed, and a couple of them are unfit. Corey Schneider is one of them, their goaltender, and Josh Olden is also unfit to play. So they have Eddie Lack and Corey Schneider in net, so that's pretty good. Chris Campoli on D with Alexander Edler, Kevin Connaughton, Petricki, Beaulieu, and Blum. Not the best defense there. Grabner, Sedin, Olmstrom, Umberger, Zalewski, Holden, Stajan, Burish, Cody Hodgson, Yannick Hansen, Henrik Sedin, and Shirakov. So yeah, that's not going to be a very good team this year. Their goaltending and the Sedins might save them a few out of a few losses, but I'm not expecting great things in Vancouver this year. So Antiniemi is going to be in net for us. We're going to go with, for us, and they are going to go with Eddie Lack. Sorry. And we lost 7-4 to start. Look at that. So we outshot Vancouver 48-28, but still took a pretty bad loss there. Adam Burish was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. RJ Umberger was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Kevin Connaughton was the third star with an assist. So the Canucks scored twice in the first period, and it was 2-0 Vancouver after 1. Then in the second period, Vancouver scored again. It was 3-0, and then Alex Pietrangelo scored from Jason Spezza and Drew Doughty, made it 3-1 Vancouver. Vancouver scored again, made it 4-1. We scored again. Pavel Datsyuk from Chris DiDomenico and Alex Pietrangelo made it 4-2 Vancouver. Then they scored again, made it 5-2 Vancouver after 2. That was pretty bad. Then we got a glimmer of hope. Braden Shen scored from Brooks Lake, and then Brooks Lake from Anton Rodin, and Braden Shen made it 5-4 Vancouver, but at that point they scored 2 more goals, made it 7-4, and yeah, not the best of outings there. Memorable game for Brad Marchand, who had 3 goals and an assist against the Blues. Dustin Jeffrey lights the lamp for Chicago. He had a hat-trick against the Flames. All of that doesn't matter. 69 millions is the new... Oh, look at that. It wouldn't be a game played by Alex Pietrangelo if I didn't see an injury next to his name right after. Sore groin this time. Alright. It's preseason. He's easily replaced. And what I was going to say is that the salary cap is 69 million this year, so it went down slightly. But I should be plenty fine with my salaries. I've let quite a few big salaries go at the end of last season. Alright, so now we are going to be hosting Tampa Bay. So let's take a look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. See what they have in store for. Oh, they are going with the bare minimum as well. Looks like it's a thematic there. So in net they have Dustin Tokarski and Vasily Koshechkin. So yeah, not all that great. Victor Edmond up front, very good, of course. Ty Wishart, Brett Skinner, Marc-Andre Bergeron, Yannick Weber, and also Vananen. On D, past 1 month, that D is terrible. Andre Palat, Dana Tyrell, Patrick Torreson, Smolenak, JT Brown, Kucherov, Tyler Johnson, Eric Perrin, Vasily Cavalier, Corey Conacher, Paul Seshura, and Brad Richards. So the offense is not too bad. They have a couple good players that just need to develop a little bit. So yeah, might be tough in Tampa Bay as well. Now, that being said, they probably are going to beat us. Dustin Tokarski in net for Tampa Bay. We are going with Brian Elliott. And we lost 7-3. Wow, are we going to be allowing that many goals every single game we play? I hope not. Tampa Bay outshot us 33-24. Brad Richards was the first star of the game. He had 4 assists. Tyler Johnson was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Radek Smolenak was a third star with 2 goals. We had 13,206 people in attendance for this preseason game. So Tampa Bay scored first in the first period, then Andre Peterson scored for us from Shane Prince and Derek Grant. Then Tampa Bay scored again, and then we tied the game again. It was Nino Niederreiter on the power play from Derek Grant and Jared Cowan. Tied at 2 after 1. Then in the second period, Tampa Bay scored 3 unanswered goals, so it was 5-2 after 2. And then in the third period, we had Mark Scheifele scored on the power play from Shane Prince and Alexander Radulov. And then Tampa Bay scored 2 more goals. It was 7-3. It was not a good game. Strong night for Brad Richards, as we saw. He had 4 assists. But he was playing for the bad guys. Night to remember for Kevin Dahlman, still playing in Detroit. He had a hat-trick against Toronto. Oh, Oli Mata got praise in camp. Oli Mata is getting all kinds of endorsements regarding his future in the league, even from other teams. One of those rare characters who possesses personal and professional skills that not only improve his team, Mata is expected to improve the popularity and quality of the league and the sport of hockey, but there are questions about whether too much praise comes with a prize. Alright, we've seen that before. Alright, so he's kind of labeled as a future star or something. Alright, now we are going to continue our preseason play here against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Right, so Columbus do have an injury. It is Nikolai Zardev. They also have 23 players on their rosters. Look at that. And they look like it looks like they have a pretty well-rounded team here. So Steve Mason and Frederick Anderson in net. That's decent. Justin Falk, Dan Amius, Mark Method, John Moore, Yoni Pitkanen, and Steve Montador on D. That's decent. Kopechki, Rick Nash, Joachim Lindstrom, Nikolai Zardev, Barchi, Brassard, Phil Pula, Ryan Johansson, Paul Stachny, Joey Crabb, Martin Anzo, Sutter, Voracek, Atkinson, and Mozyakin. That's a pretty good team all in all. Not a lot of weaknesses there. Alright, let's see if we can beat them. Antiniemi is going to be in net for us. Steve Mason is going to be in net for the Blue Jackets. Oh, we won that one 5-1. We outshot Columbus 35-28. Jason Spezza was the first star. He had 3 assists. Marcus Sorensen was the second star with a goal. And Zdeno Chara was the third star with a goal as well. So Pavel Datsyuk scored on the power play in the first period to open up the scoring. It was assisted by Jason Spezza, and then Zdeno Chara scored from Drew Doughty and Jason Spezza. It was 2-0 Sens after 1. Then in the second period, Ryan Dzingel scored from Lucas Bisa. It was 3-0 Sens after 2. At the start of the third period, Columbus scored. It was 3-1, but then Max McCormick scored from Jason Spezza and Petrus Bergeron, and then Marcus Sorensen from Eric Carlson made it 5-1 at that point, and that was, of course, the final score. And Carlson is day-to-day. Look at that. The injuries are starting to happen again. Hopefully he's going to be ready for the start of the season. Oh, now it's Nathan McKinnon that's getting the type of praise that Ali Mata also got. So, all right. So we are in Edmonton to play against the Oilers. Well, Oilers going with 20 players as well. Looks like teams are having problems with handling rosters or something, I don't know. So Devon Dubnyk and Brad Thiessen in net. So as long as Dubnyk is in net, that should be pretty good. Theo Peckham, James Wisniewski, Oscar Clefbaum, Denis Grabeshkov, Belov, and Whitney are on the... Oh, Ryan Whitney signed with the Oilers apparently, and Martin Anzel signed with... is it Columbus that we just played? Yes, it is. Taylor Hall, Jason Shimmer, and Ever Listen, sorry. Ryan Smith, Cagliano, Nugent Tompkins, Brodziak, Stoll, Baczynski, Eberly, Shrimp, and Abdelkader are going to be playing up front for the Oilers. It's hard to tell. There's definitely decent pieces there. I'm not too fond of their D right now. Alright, Brian Elliott in net for us, Devon Dubnyk in net for the Oilers. And we lost 5-3. Ooh. We did outshoot Edmonton 46-31. Taylor Hall was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Pavel Datsyuk was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Jason Shimura was the third star with 2 goals. Pavel Datsyuk opened up the scoring in the first. That was a power play goal from Petrus Bergeron and Sam Gagner. Then Edmonton tied the game, and then we took the lead back. Brooks Like scored from Mark Scheifele and Alexander Radulov. It was 2-1 Ottawa at that point. Then in the second period, Edmonton scored, tied the game at 2. And then in the third period, they scored 3 unanswered goals. It was 5-2, and then with 3 minutes left to go in the period, Petrus Bergeron scored from Pavel Datsyuk, but it was too little, too late, and we lost that 5-3. So are we going to be struggling this season, or what's going on? There was no stopping Johnny Gaudreau with the Flames. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals. And now we are playing Tampa Bay. We already played them earlier this preseason, so I'm not going to look at their lineup again. And they're going to send this time Vasily Koshechkin in net, and we are going to go with Antiniemi. And we won 5-2. Oh yeah, we outshot Tampa Bay 58-14. Here's my team back. Pavel Datsyuk was the first star. He had 3 goals and an assist. Patrice Bergeron was the second star with 4 assists, and Drew Doughty was the third star with an assist. 13,312 people in attendance for this game. So Mike Hoffman opened up the scoring in the first from Patrick Maroon and Patrice Bergeron. Then Pavel Datsyuk from Patrice Bergeron and Jason Spezza. And then Nino Niedrider from Roman Josi and Pavel Datsyuk. It was 3-0 Sens after 1. Then in the second period, Tampa Bay scored a goal. So it was 3-1 Sens after 2. And then in the third period, Pavel Datsyuk scored his 5th from Patrice Bergeron and Drew Doughty. Made it 4-1. Tampa Bay scored, made it 4-2 Ottawa, and then Pavel Datsyuk scored from Chris Weidman and Patrice Bergeron, and 5-2 was our final score today. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Patrice Bergeron. We were there, we liked it. Same for Pavel Datsyuk, he got 3 goals and an assist, and he's in the news. Alright, so we have 2 preseason games left, and it starts with the Wild at home, and then we're finishing that at Madison Square Garden against the Rangers, and then we start the season on October 9th with a road trip that starts in Nashville. Memorable night for Sidney Crosby, who had 4 assists against the Hurricanes. Good game for Mark Giordano, a goal and 4 assists against the Leafs. Oh, Pietrangelo's about to come back. I'm so excited to see how he's going to get hurt next. Stay tuned if you want to find out too. Alright, and Alex Pietrangelo is back in the lineup. Well, he's available. I have so many players available, I don't know that he's going to play or not, but he's available. So the Wild is in town. Let's take a look at their lineup here. 23 players on the lineup. I like to see that. Keith Yandel, oh, still recovering from his hot dog injury. And then in net, it's Nicholas Backstrom and Matt Hackett, Nick Leddy, Chris Letang, Nick Schultz, Clayton Stoner, Jonas Brodin, Ricky Jordan, I think. Raphael Jordan, sorry. Dustin Bufflin and Brent Burns on D. Pretty good D. Up front, we have Cal Clutterbuck, Ryan Jones. Yeah, Ryan Jones. Drew Miller, Benoit Pouliot, Francis Wattier, Patrick Eliash, Loktionov, Stamkos, Granlund, Hola, Gaborik, Fontaine, and Fraser. Not too bad of a team. The goaltending's a little weak, though, so that might cost them some games, I would think. Matt Hackett's going to be in net for Minnesota. We are going with Brian Elliott. And we won this 4-1. We outshot the Wild 41-19. Derek Grant was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Nikita Filatov was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Alex Pietrangelo was the third star with a goal. 13,237 people in attendance for this game. Alright, so nobody scored in the first. Then in the second period, Jason Spezza scored on the power play from Braden Shen. It was 1-0 Sens after 2. Then all of the rest of the scoring happened in the third. Braden Shen scored on the power play from Anders Lee and Jason Spezza. Then Nikita Filatov from Derek Grant and Brooks Lake. Alex Pietrangelo scored, probably before leaving on a stretcher, from Nikita Filatov and Derek Grant. It was 4-0 at that point. Then Minnesota scored with a minute and 45 seconds left to go. And it was 4-1 at that point, and that stuck, and we won 4-1. Oh boy, Pietrangelo didn't get hurt. That's pretty impressive. Alright, and then the last preseason game. This is going to be against the Rangers in New York. We are going to take a look at their lineup. 22 people or players on the roster. Well, they do have Trevor Daley. That's, oh my god, they just traded for him and he's hurt for 3 to 4 months. It's going to take a while for them to see what he can do for them. Alright, so Henrik Lundqvist and Al Montoya in net. That should be fine. Del Zotto, Volchenkov, Stahl, Gilroy, Girardi, and Tudin on D. Add Trevor Daley to that if he's healthy. That's decent. Not too great. Not a lot of puck movers. I mean, Del Zotto is a puck mover, but other than that, it's pretty much defensive defenseman. Zach Boychuk, Thomas Fleischman, Carl Aglen, Kreider, Glenn Cross, Anisimov, Miller, Piorala, Chichu Fisher, Eric Kondra signed with the Rangers, Teddy Purcell, Petruzalik, and Sherpanov are going to be playing for the Rangers. So Kondra got a 3-year contract at $2.63 million a year. Yeah, I wasn't going to pay you that. So glad for you that you got it there. Alright, so let's play the Rangers in our final preseason game. Oh, it was not Antiniemi for us and Al Montoya for the Rangers, and we won this 3-2 in overtime. Sorry, I went a little fast there. So, we outshot the Rangers 44-25. Pavel Datsyuk was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Alexander Sherpanov was the second star with a goal, and Patrice Bergeron was the third star with an assist. Oh, there was a fight in the first period. Former teammates Eric Kondra and Mark Borowiecki punched each other faces and helmets and visors and everything. But nobody scored. Then in the second period, Sam Gagner scored from Mark Scheifele, and then the Rangers tied the game. Then there was another fight between two former teammates again, Mike Fisher and Mark Borowiecki. Fought each other. And then in the third period, the Rangers took the lead, but then Pavel Datsyuk tied a game from Matt Pumpel and Zach Smith, and it was tied at 2 going into overtime, where Jason Spezza played the preseason hero. Doesn't really count. From Patrice Bergeron and Pavel Datsyuk, it was a 3-2 victory. Now, that counts for moral reasons, I suppose, because we've lost quite a few games. And there was no stopping Colin Wilson. Playing for Buffalo, he had a hat trick against Chicago. There you go. Alright, so there's not really any stats to look over at or anything like that. So next video we are going to be playing October of 2013, and we are going to go from there, and hopefully we have a better season this year than we did last year. It ended pretty abruptly in the first round, so I'm hoping for a bounce back season. I am going to have a lot of new faces, and I am going to be deciding the lineup that's gonna start this season. Before the next video, there's gonna be a lot of new faces, so that's kind of exciting in a way. I've had the same team for a while, so it's kind of exciting to have a few new faces. Alright, so I saved the game, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here for today. So as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in, and if you've liked the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.